Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. So all of you are ready? We can start the class. Okay. Sit in any comfortable posture. Relax your shoulders. Awareness on your breathing. With ear out. Inhale. Belly expands out. Exhale. Belly goes in. Inhaling and equaling for equal time. Continuing for 1 more minute before we begin. Join your palms together in front of your chest in Namaste Mudra. Take a deep breath in. Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay. So, any questions from the yesterday's class? Okay. So, we will move on to the next pranayam, Bhastrika. How do you perform Bhastrika?
Active inhalation,
The
active exhalation.
inhalation is also active and exhalation is also.
How do you perform? Active?
Inhale and exhale, both are active, ma'am.
Both are active. Both
Yeah,
are active or both are force?
yeah,
With force, yeah.
forceful
Okay.
exhalation.
So again in Bhastrika, like Kapalbhati, you don't have uh, you cannot control the length of your inhale or exhale. What you can control is the force, how much force you want to apply, right? And your force will decide the pace. Okay, little force, faster pace, or you can also change the pace even if you're not applying force, but you will not be able to decide how long you're going to inhale or how long you're going to exhale. Like in Nadi Shodhanam Pranayam, you can decide you're going to inhale for 4 counts. You can decide you can exhale for 4 counts or 8 counts, right? But in Kapalbhati Bhastrika, you have no control on the length of your inhale or exhale. So that's why the forced breathing becomes slightly different than just being active. It is also active because you are putting conscious effort and changing it. But it is kind of active, forceful breathing and not just active breathing. Okay. So Bhastrika can be practiced in different ways, but we understand the diaphragm in Kapalbhati. From the resting position, diaphragm moves up and then comes down. Moves up, comes down. But in Bhastrika, the movement of the diaphragm will be going deeper. It is going to, with exhale, it is going to go up, and with inhale, it is going to go down than the resting position because it is a force inhale. So it is going to move extremes, extreme up and down. Okay. So here you're going to utilize your abdominal muscles, not just for the force exhalation, but you're also going to use your abdominal muscles for force inhale. Depending on the variations you do, intercostal muscles will play a role. So for example, you're doing abdominal variation of Bhastrika. Okay. So if you're doing the abdominal variation of Bhastrika, then just like Kapalbhati, you are doing mainly the diaphragmatic Bhastrika. Right? This is more of a diaphragmatic Bhastrika, whereas when you do Bhastrika using your arms, okay, the primary muscles of the Bhastrika will become intercostal muscles. Okay, so you're using in abdominal Bhastrika, the primary muscle is diaphragm. In the arm variation, the primary muscle will be intercostal muscles, and they will have different impact on your body. Both the variations are good, but you'll understand that when you do abdominal variation, it has more heating, more fiery impact because you're using more of your diaphragm and abdominal muscles to do Bhastrika. Whereas chest one is using more of chest muscles and less of abdominal muscles and the abdominal diaphragm. So it is comparatively less heating than the abdominal variation. But as this is a faster breathing, it stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. When the sympathetic nervous system gets stimulated, your body becomes very active, very alert. So in the in olden times, this practice usually specifically were given to the warriors who would go on the war field, because this is the practice. It generates so much of heat that will not allow you to sleep. So you will be very alert, very agile, very focused. So nobody can attack on that person who is fully aware, fully alert, and fully agile, right? So that is why the warriors used to practice the practice of Bhastrika before going on the war. Okay, so again, this is a very heating practice, even more heat generating than Kapalbhati. As it is generating too much of heat, that's why even chest variation is not very beneficial for pregnant women. Abdominal variation has the same implication as the Kapalbhati, but the chest variation, sometimes some people come and tell me, can I do this with my clients? This is like Ujjayi, just using your arm. You're not doing Bhastrika. So don't confuse this with Bhastrika. Bhastrika cannot be practiced like this. Bhastrika has to be very, no, it should be fiery. It should be with force.
इसका
Again,
मतलब है हम स्लो नहीं कर सकते भस्त्रिका.
slow kar sakte ho, but force has to be applied to your breath. This is not, this is like I'm making sound from my throat rather than using my muscles to do the forceful breathing. Okay? आप भस्त्रिका कर रहे हो तो it must be given with force. So if you want to do slow, you do slow. This is slow. This is slow, right? But there must be force applied to the slow version also.
Okay.
Again, just like Kapalbhati, this practice also creates hyperventilation, and retention becomes easier after the practice of Bhastrika. Though here, internal retention, after Kapalbhati, external retention becomes easier. Whereas after Bhastrika, it is possible that you may not find a lot of difference between your internal and external retention pattern. You may feel both easy, but sometimes some people feel internal retention easier after Bhastrika than the external retention, because the way we can contract belly muscles to apply force for exhalation, same way we can't stretch the belly muscles to the maximum to expand the lungs to the maximum. So we can force the air maximum out, but we can not force too much air in, because it all totally depends on the stretch receptors of the lungs and our muscles' ability to stretch or expand. Okay, so inhale can feel struggle for many people. That's why after doing Bhastrika, sometimes they feel like inhaling and retaining is better because it helps them bring more oxygen in. Okay, whereas after Kapalbhati, they are lacking the carbon dioxide in the body. So Kapalbhati literally creates hyperventilation, whereas Bhastrika may take them into the state of hypoventilation. Okay, where the air is not coming enough. It is not literally hypoventilation. Don't confuse totally with hypoventilation, but I would say slight. No, some people may feel slightly comfortable with internal retention than the external retention, or for some people, they feel comfortable with both. Okay, so it will totally depend on their own body's chemistry for that moment. And today they are feeling this, tomorrow they may not feel the same, because it totally depends on your oxygen carbon dioxide relationship, how much force you are applying, how fast you are doing the practice, right? All these factors will be important. If you're doing slow variation of Bhastrika, then you will not be creating that much hyperventilation. Then retention may not feel that easy for some people, right? So it all depends on how you're practicing. But Kapalbhati and Bhastrika, both of them have tendency to create the state of hyperventilation. Okay, so if you want to train somebody with retention, it can be trained after the Kapalbhati practice, better than Nadi Shodhanam practice. Okay, Nadi Shodhanam, because you are inhaling and exhaling from alternate nostril, there is a possibility sometimes that nostril is blocked, so they're already struggling. And then you ask them to hold, they will struggle more, right? So both nostril inhale, then hold, both nostril exhale and hold. That can be easier, especially for those who have more like sinus problems.
तो पहले कपालभाति करना चाहिए या भस्त्रिका, या कोई भी ले सकते हैं?
नहीं, भस्त्रिका हम लोग 12 महीना नहीं प्रैक्टिस कर सकते. Like if it is too hot right now outside, भस्त्रिका is not advisable. क्योंकि अगर एक तो शाम का वक्त है, अभी इवनिंग टाइम है, अगर आप भस्त्रिका अभी करोगे तो हीट इतना जनरेट होगा कि आपको रात में सोने नहीं देगा. Okay, so भस्त्रिका is usually not advised for everyone and anytime. Like if you do it early in the morning, then one round of Vastrika is good. But first you should do the Kapalbhati, because Kapalbhati helps clean the residual air, right? So it empties your lungs properly. In Vastrika, you're not emptying your lungs completely. You are forcing the exhale, but you're also forcing the inhale. So there is give and take already, always happening in Vastrika. So first you want to empty and then do this give and take relationship. So always starting with Kapalbhati gives better results for all the pranayamas. Mild Kapalbhati still is safer for people with high blood pressure, heart problem. Under the proper guidance, you can guide them with Kapalbhati. But for them, Vastrika is not recommended.
Ma'am, how to inculcate retention for people who have breathing difficulties, like wheezing, asthma, and all?
For them, when they have inflammation in the lungs, they have bronchitis, asthma, first of all, you want to ensure they are exhaling properly. So never including retention. Retention is intermediate practice. Okay. So first, they should feel always comfortable with the length of the breath you're giving and guiding. Okay. So first, always focusing with 1:1 ratio of breathing, whether both nostril or you're doing alternate nostril. Okay. You want to focus on that. And then only you will be guiding them. When you guide them with Kapalbhati, after Kapalbhati, it is easier for them to retain. So instead of using retention in Nadi Shodhanam, you do it only after Kapalbhati.
Okay.
And Nadi Shodhanam without retention, no holding.
Okay.
Only after 1 month, 3 months, you see that their condition has improved, the inflammation has reduced, they don't have so many asthma attacks, they don't have to use the pump. That means they are getting better, right? And they are falling less sick. These are the signs. So you follow their sign, take their feedback, they're feeling more energetic, because those people with breathing issues, they always feel fatigued, they feel tired, right? So they're feeling energetic. All this are the signs that now maybe they're ready for little advanced practice. Then as we guide, as I explained with the Nadi Shodhanam holding ratio, you can go with that ratio.
So Vastrika is not advisable for these kind of people, is it?
You can do Vastrika, but initially start with this variation. It is easier than the abdominal variation.
Okay.
Okay. But as I said, see the time of the year. Okay. So summertime is not a really good time for Vastrika, especially most of the part of India gets really hot. So for that time, it is not very advisable, and keeping one round of Vastrika, 15 to 20 minutes, 15 to 20 pumpings, one round is enough.
Okay.
Okay. And only in the morning. If they're practicing with you in the evening, then never use Vastrika.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
When pranayama, when we like do, normally we are doing for like, cooling down, getting relaxed, like to calm down.
No, that is the wrong approach, right? Pranayama, if you're using for that purpose, then you're not utilizing the pranayama as it is supposed to be used, and it will not impact your body in the same way. If you use pranayama practice just to cool down, it will just cool down your body. If you use pranayama to energize your body, improve your pranic body, your aura, energy, then it will do the same. So your intention should be clear. Depending on the intention, you will also, your practice will change. Like you decide today that you're going to focus on your inversion practice today, then your choice of asanas will change, right? If you think that this is the practice for cooling down, then maybe you just do Nari Shodhanam practice and ask them to relax, or maybe you just do Brahmari and relax, right? So your choice of practice will totally change depending on the intention you're setting for your pranayama. So don't limit your pranayama practice just to calm you down or cool you down. Okay. Ultimately, the understand that we are over breathers. We breathe too much. Then we should breathe, right? We are breathing more, but we are not also eliminating enough. That means we are holding the waste inside of our body, right? So what is going to happen? Where we are going to get our energy? If there is less oxygen in our body to produce energy, how your body is going to get oxygen? It is going to ask for more carbs to produce more energy, because you know the ATP relationship. In when oxygen is present, same glucose can give you 38 ATP usable energy. But when oxygen is not present, same glucose gives only 2 ATP. So what is going to happen? If you don't have enough oxygen, your carb intake will increase. So what is going to happen? And that's why the pranayama can also become very important tool for those who who want to lose weight, because their energy levels are so low, they are looking for energy in the food. So what they are going to do? They will eat more. When they eat more, what is going to happen? That energy is utilized, but then rest of the nutritions, you will not end up eating only as much as you like, but because you are starving, your body and your cells are starving, you end up binge eating. So the extra glucose, your cells cannot utilize all the glucose at once. So what is going to happen? That glucose will be stored in fat, and after again 1 hour, 2 hours, you're again hungry. Your choice of food again will be carb, because your blood cannot tolerate high glucose. What it will do, whatever cells have taken for that moment, for few minutes, if that glucose is not utilized by the cell, it will send it to the other cells and store it. Okay. So your body is not going to break down that glucose to produce energy unless and until you do exercise. You walk, you burn, right? But what is happening? We are leading sedentary lifestyle. We are not breathing well. And that is causing us to eat more, because we are deprived of oxygen, not because we are not eating enough. Okay.
It's really new concept. I haven't thought about it. It is truly new for pranayama, like for weight loss. I have not at all thought about it.
But now you understand, you had only answered that 38 ATP is produced with one oxygen molecule.
Yeah, understood.
Right. So we know the science, but we do not realize and we do not implement in our practice.
Yeah, true.
Okay. So
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Sorry.
just a second, Shreya.
Yeah.
Yes, Shreya, go ahead.
Ma'am, if we practice Nadi Shodhanam or Brahmari without Kapalbhati, will it be efficient?
It is efficient. There's no problem in it. But why Kapalbhati? If you're doing weight loss, like somebody is coming for you, coming to you for a weight loss, then you know they are not emptying the lungs, they're not breathing well, they're deprived of oxygen, and you start doing Nadi Shodhanam. Yes, slow exhalation will help control, but then if they have nasal passage block, then the same impact will take time. So Kapalbhati is like quick release, no? Quick purification before you get on to the Nadi Shodhanam practice.
Not on a regular basis, but occasionally it will be fine, right?
Yes, yes. If there are problems, like if we know that there are issues with somebody, health issues like high blood pressure, or somebody is coming for during pregnancy, it's okay. You can take,
Okay.
no problem. But I'm just telling you that if they can do, and if you have the time and feasibility to add Kapalbhati, it will be wonderful. Just give me a second. I'm just changing my place.
No problem. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Ma'am, one of my student, she was practicing Kapalbhati regularly. And she also noticed that there was a changes in her waist, the abdomen fat was reduced actually. And after, due to some some health issues, she stopped it for some time. So again, she noticed that there was a weight gain in that region. So is it possible because of this only? Whether it should be on consistent basis, or they can stop in between or something like that?
No, ideally, when you lose weight with yoga, it should be consistent. But you know that she was diagnosed with some condition, health issues, then again her breathing may have got affected, right?
Okay.
And she may have, even because if she's not breathing well, like I said, for energy, she might be eating also more carb-based diet, might be binge eating. So again, weight gain. So she may have fallen into the same trap. You will yourself notice that when you are doing your asana practice, when you are doing pranayama practice, you will not be craving for foods. The craving automatically goes. But
Yeah.
you will see that the days you are not practicing, like if it is more than 1 or 2 days you haven't practiced, third day you will notice the changes in your food likings. Okay, because somewhere we all are, influenced by the external environment which is polluted. So it is possible that even if we are regularly practicing, we are not emptying the waste properly. Okay, so it is very important, just like I gave you the example that we can change the filters of our water filters. We can change our water filters, we can buy new filters, but in our body we cannot change the filters. Then only option that we have is the cleaning. We have to purify, right? If we don't purify, it is going to be congested, it is going to affect our respiratory system, it is going to affect our digestion, everything, because the blood pH is the key. Okay, blood pH is going to signal and make the changes in your breathing, how your brain functions, and how you're going to digest or metabolize the food, or your choice of food. Everything is going to change depending on the oxygen and carbon dioxide relationship of your body.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So your practice should be like brushing your teeth. No matter what time you wake up in the morning, you always brush your teeth, right? You don't go out anywhere or you don't eat anything without brushing your teeth. Then why we don't have the same habit for our practices? Yes, any other questions?
During those days, she can practice only Nadi Shodhana, no, ma? Because she had some like infection, UIT, and that lady, she completely stopped. She got actually admitted to the hospital for 1 to 2 months. So she stopped the practice. She couldn't move her body. For her, can I suggest Nadi Shodhana instead of Kapalbhati?
Yes. You can do Nari Shodham if she can do Brahmari also, lying down Brahmari, no problem.
As you said, Nadi Shodhanam is the safest pranayam, can be done by anybody, right? There's no
Yes.
restrictions in this.
Yes, without retention, it is safest.
1:1.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Now we will talk about the retention physiology. So when we retain the breath initially, okay, as a beginner, when we hold the breath, what is going to happen? You can just take one breath in and hold it and try to observe your mind, your heart, and see what is happening. And then exhale and hold the breath and see what is happening. Just do one breath and tell me. What happened to your heart rate?
Is it like your heart might be confused because all of a sudden we change the pattern of breathing?
So did you notice the change in your heart rate also? What happened?
Yes.
After external retention, I felt my heart rate was slightly higher.
Slightly
Higher.
higher.
Yes.
Yes. So even that can happen in internal retention. If you hold it longer, you will notice better that initially for people who are learning the retention process, the heart rate is going to increase. Okay. So the pressure increases in the heart, in the lungs, and also it can increase in the brain. Okay, so that is not the practice of retention is not advisable for people with high blood pressure, heart problems, or brain stroke, or even for people. No, you have to be very much alert when you're guiding people with diabetes and cholesterol problem. Okay, people with diabetes and cholesterol, their blood is thick. Okay, they may not have direct connection to the blood pressure at the moment or heart problem. There might be subclinical condition there. You on paper, on the reports, their blood pressure might look normal. Everything looks normal, but still people with cholesterol issue and people with diabetes, they have their blood thicker, right? So retention practice, when you guide them, you have to be gentle. It is not that it is completely contraindicated, but as I said, you will slowly include retention. So people with such health conditions, how you can do after Kapalbhati, just momentary hold. And just hold it for 2 to 4 seconds and relax. After Kapalbhati, 2 to 4 second hold and relax. Not including with Nadi Shodhana. Then as you see improvement in their health, then you can also introduce retention in the Nadi Shodhanam practices. Always remember, retention practices are intermediate pranayama practices. So not for everyone. For everyone, even without retention, pranayama practice is good. And if you want to include retention for the most of the people who come to your classes, always include internal retention and not the external retention at the moment. There is a beautiful line written by B.K.S. Iyengar in his book. He has said that the internal retention is like holding on to the life, because the air is inside, the prana is inside, the life force inside. So you're holding on to the life. And that is what we do psychologically also. We fear death. We run away from aging. We want to look younger. Why? Because we don't want to die. Right? So we want to hold on to the life. So you'll see that for most people, internal retention becomes easy. Okay? Whereas the external retention is like holding on to nothing. It's like holding on to the death or nothing. We don't know what is going to happen after death. So it has that psychological depth into it where you expel and hold. Okay? So it is going to teach you detachment. Okay? External retention teaches vairagya, detachment. So those who are not ready for the spiritual progress, external retention can be very difficult. Only after Kapalbhati, external retention easy, because it is a physiological need of the body. And that's how you can also psychologically teach them healthy detachment. Okay? We suffer in life because of our attachments. Attachment towards liking, attachment towards even disliking, that I don't like this, right? So we suffer because of this attachment, and when you teach them excel and retain, you are slowly teaching them detachment, right? So even when you introduce retention with Nadi Shodhanam, first only include the internal retention, don't include external retention. So the ratios that I had shared with you, you will have to add a couple of more steps. Okay, no external retention. First you're doing 1:2 ratio breathing, no holding of the breath. Then you will go 1, 1, 1. 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale. 4 inhale, 4 hold, 4 exhale. Then what you can do is 1, 2, 2. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 8 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. Okay. Then next step will be inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 16 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. But still, no external retention. When the person becomes comfortable with 1:4:2 ratio for a little longer period of time, that is when they are now ready for external retention. And when you add external retention, again, you will come into the 1:1:1:1 ratio. Okay, 4 count inhale, 4 hold, 4 exhale, 4 hold. Okay, so whenever you introduce retention, you want to go back to the basics.
Ma'am, I have a doubt here. So when we increase the ratio, why the inhalation? Like, why do we do inhalation for less time when compared to retention and exhalation? So the ratio is like 1:2:2, right? Why is that, ma'am?
Because of the lungs stretching ability. Okay, with inhale, and you cannot expand, you cannot contract your diaphragm to that extent that you can inhale double time. Okay, inhale, you can make it slower, and steadily you can make it longer. But if you make your inhale longer, your exhale must become double, because right now you'll see that it is opposite. You are following inhale for 2 counts and exhale for 1 count. If you notice, your exhale will be very fast and short than your inhale. So that means we are not emptying our lungs properly. So in pranayama, first of all, what we are doing, we are changing the ratio. Okay. Naturally, what is happening? Inhale is longer than the exhale. Okay. Papa ke liye thoda sa. So what we are doing is first we will reverse the breathing pattern to train our mind and to get access to the involuntary functions of our body. So we are changing the ratio. That is one impact. Second is your carbon dioxide is heavier, okay, than oxygen. But what we are doing, we are exhaling carbon dioxide faster. So that means we are not expelling properly. So that's why, secondly, we want to focus on controlled and long exhale. So we are doing two things by doubling the exhalation. One is we are training the mind to, we are trying to get control over the mind and getting control over the involuntary functions. Secondly, carbon dioxide is heavier than the oxygen. So we want to eliminate it efficiently and with total control. And automatically you'll notice that as you double the exhalation time, automatically inhale becomes very easy control. You don't even have to worry that you have to inhale 4 counts. Okay. Yes.
Ma'am, so usually whenever it is 1:1, we start with 4 seconds. Then we have to be in 1:1 ratio only till what second? Like 4 seconds. Then we go to say 6 seconds or that way.
Yes, before increasing or before, whenever you want to include the retention, before doing that, you should increase the seconds. Like you are doing 4, you should do 5.
Okay. So till what we have to as we have.
Yes. So
As we have discussed, 1:1, we have to go for a certain, say for 1 week or 10 days. Then we have to go for 1:2, then 1:1.
So when you're doing 1:1, for example, you're doing 4 seconds, right? Do it for 1 week, 2 weeks. Okay. Then give them 5 inhale, 5 exhale. See if they're comfortable and do it for another 1 week. Then what you can do is you can come back to 4-8. 4 seconds inhale, 8 seconds exhale.
Okay.
Whenever you want to increase something like your exhalation, you want to lengthen, make it longer. Before doing that, just work on the same ratio by either increasing the number of repetitions or increasing the time in within 1 minute or 1 breath.
Okay. So that's what I'm just saying. Ki 4 seconds, at the most 5 seconds. So we don't go further than that. Like
You
6,
can go 6, you can go 7.
7, 8.
Yes.
Okay.
So if your aim is just to focus on 1:1 ratio, you can extend within that only, no problem.
So till what it is safer to extend?
Till the time they feel comfortable, they start feeling stress, that means that is the limit. Because as I said, your stretch receptors will not allow you to stretch further. Like for some people, after 6, it becomes very difficult.
Okay. So if we are taking a class like one-on-one, then we can come to know. But if we are taking a class, so generalized practice, so till what we have to.
We usually follow, in general, we follow 4-4, 4-8, that ratio we follow. And maximum we follow 5, 10.
Okay. Okay.
So usually we do 4-8, 5-10. This is the ratio most of us practice. Okay, any other questions?
Actually, the logic behind everything is really amazing, ma'am. So nice to understand all this.
Thank you. Okay. So today we will be doing 3 rounds of Kapalbhati, 1 round of Bhastrika, okay, and Nadi Shodhanam. Okay. So just adjust yourself on a mat. Yes, Charu.
Then just one, can you just explain me difference between vairagya and detachment?
Vairagya and
Detachment. You said na internal retention.
Vairagya is itself detachment.
Okay, so internal retention and external retention. I think I missed something. You said
Internal retention is like you're holding on to the prana, right? Your lungs are full of prana. So you're holding on to the life. So that is still with attachment. But when you exhale, there is no prana inside when you're holding after exhalation. Minimal prana. So that means you're holding on to nothing, like almost nothing.
Yes.
It's like holding on to death, which is external retention. And when you hold after inhalation, it is like holding on to life. So holding on to life is always easier than holding on to death.
okay.
Okay, for most of the people.
Hmm.
So external retention actually teaches us detachment.
Today's all the topics were extremely something different. Like I have to keep on again do this recording, hear this once again. I have to like 2-3 times, then only it will like sit in the mind. It is simple also, but it is different also, I can say.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, so just take 2 minutes and sit. Chetna Ben, आपको कोई question है?
नहीं अभी वो चारू जी ने बोला ना ऐसा ही है 2-3 बार सुनूंगी कुछ न कुछ नया सीखने को मिलेगा जितनी बार सुनूंगी
ठीक है. Okay. Just make yourself comfortable. Sit on a mat if possible. Sitting down, sitting on a mat. Align your spine and continue with belly breathing. 1:1 ratio belly breathing before we start with Kapalbhati. So whenever you're ready, let me know. We will start with first round of Kapalbhati. Thirty to 40 pumpings. Ensure your force and pace. Once you complete 30 to 40 pumpings, you can make an Adi Mudra. We want to do one yogic breath. Starting from the diaphragm. Then expanding the chest. And expanding the clavicle. And just holding as much as you feel comfortable, not stressing, not forcing. And exhaling in 3-part: diaphragm, chest, and clavicle. And again, holding as much as you feel comfortable without stressing. Only one yogic breath with internal and external retention. And just relax after the 1 round of Kapalbhati and 1 round of yogic breath. Once you are completely relaxed, then only you will move on to the second round. Complete total 3 rounds of Kapalbhati with 3 yogic breath. After each round, 1 yogic breath. And once you are done, we want to mentally prepare for Bhastrika. Just take your time. 2 minutes to relax before we move on to Bhastrika. Ensure your breathing is calm and relaxed. Mentally preparing for Bhastrika Pranayam. We want to do 10 to 15 repetitions of Bhastrika. We will do arm variation Bhastrika. So you will inhale and raise your arms up in Adi Mudra. And exhale, you will move your arms down. Inhale up, exhale down, right? 10 to 15 repetitions with equal force. Your inhale and exhale should have the same amount of force. You can manage your pace and the force. Whenever you're ready, you will start. Observe how you feel, how is your body, how is your mind. And whenever you are ready, we want to do one more yogic breath. Expanding the belly with inhale, then the chest, then the clavicle. Your hands are in Adi Mudra and holding the breath as long as you feel comfortable. Exhaling through the belly, through the chest, through the clavicle, and hold your breath as long as you feel comfortable. And once you are done, just relax. Mentally preparing for Nadi Shodhanam Pranayam. Again, today we are going to do 4-8-8-8. 4 seconds inhale, 8 seconds hold, 8 seconds exhale, 8 seconds hold. And we will do 4 rounds like that. 2 rounds, 4-4-2 rounds. If you need to open your legs and make yourself comfortable, you can do it. And whenever we are ready, we will start. You'll take right hand in Vishnu Mudra, left hand in Chin Mudra. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Close your right nostril. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Relax. Relax your breathing. Just relax yourself before we move on to the last practice of the day. We will start with the last round. Once again, right hand in Nasikagra Mudra, left hand in Chin Mudra. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Close your right nostril. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Relax. Keep your eyes closed. Observe your breath. If all of you want, you can lie down in Shavasana for 2 to 3 minutes just to relax yourself. Legs apart, arms apart. Shake your legs, shake your arms. Adjust your hips, adjust your shoulders. Roll your head side to side. And take a final position, legs apart, arms apart, palms facing up. Head, neck, and spine are in one line. Complete awareness on your breathing. Just absorb your energy. Observe how is your body, how is your mind after the pranayama practice. After 3 rounds of Kapalbhati, 1 round of Bhastrika, and 2 rounds of Nadi Shodhana. Slowly move your toes, fingers, legs together. Arms over your head. Inhale, give a complete stretch. Exhale, relax. Gently turning to your side and sitting up. Sit upright. And you can gently rub the palms. Place the palms over your eyes. Feel the warmth over your face. And gently open your eyes, gazing at your palms with smile and gratitude. Thank you. So, how did you feel today after the practice? चेतना जी कैसा लग रहा है?
एकदम हल्का सा महसूस हो रहा है।
Shreya, what about you?
I was able to feel the activation of intercostal muscles when I did Bastrika, and I felt a bit chest heaviness when I did Kapalbhati. Nadi Shodhana was.
Okay. What about you, Charu?
Yeah, I think I missed the instructions for Bastrika, so then I did it on my own. But the third round of Kapalbhati was very smooth. I was not at all trying hard or anything जो अब तक हो रहा था. So today it was very smooth and now तो it is एकदम relaxed. Maybe in Shavasana I felt like 2 seconds के लिए शायद मेरी आंख बंद हो गई. So I thought कि like you gave some instructions. That's why I came up. 2 minute हो गया होगा ऐसा सोच के.
No problem. So, any questions for the practice today or whatever we have discussed today?
Ma'am, I have a question. Like before, when I used to take a group class, there is used to a student. She never, whenever I give her instruct saying that to hold her breath, she used to complain that she get a one-sided headache after practicing. So, what the reason could be?
It depends when you are giving the retention.
Okay, evening actually at 6 to
No.
7 I used to conduct it.
No, in
Yeah.
which practice you are asking her to retain?
This thing, Nadi Shodhana.
So you were doing Kapalbhati before?
No. At the
Yeah.
end of the session, I used to give this.
Yeah, so
Nadi
there is a
Shodhana.
possibility that she may have sinus. Okay.
Okay.
And when she is trying to do Nadi Shodhanam and holding the breath, it is increasing pressure. Right?
Hmm.
So for her, initially, you do not want to include retention practices.
Okay.
First, there has to be a free flow of prana in both sides of the nadis, right?
Mhm.
And she should feel light after the Nadi Shodhanam practices, where she might be holding too hard, right?
Okay.
And we know the connection. So you have to also find out like which nostril used to be, if she used to feel heaviness on the left side or right side, then it is connected to one of the nadis. Then there are blocks in that nadi. She is not able to hold pressure in that part of the lung. So there can be multiple reasons for that. So initially, just give her nadi shodhana without retention practices.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, even in the beginning, the first round, I also felt that when I was exhaling, one of the narine, maybe left nostril was not working that much. How exhalation from the right was happening. Then in the third round, it was perfect. So that
Yes.
also can happen, na? If one.
Yes. So when we do nadi, even if we have done pranayam practice after the asana, there are still chances that when you do asana practice, for that moment, nadi opens up, and then when you relax again, that nadi gets blocked. So you may find it difficult to do it. So that's why, it is good to do Kapalbhati, or at least ensure that both nadis are open. So if one nadi is blocked, you can also put, like I told you, you can put something under the opposite armpit, ensuring during nadi shodhanam both nadis are active.
Is it okay what we were doing pehle na? Ki pehle we were doing pumping from both the nostrils, then alternate, so both the nadi opens up. Then you start with the actual practice of pumping and holding and pumping and holding.
Yes.
Ma'am, during Nadi Shodhanam, so when I inhale through one nostril, internal retention, and when I exhale, before external retention, there was a slight sensation to inhale immediately. Is that normal?
Yes. That is normal. Like I told you,
So that is where you control before inhaling, you immediately retain the breath.
yes. Okay. So because we are training training your physical body and the mental body to hold. So before we hold, it may start exhaling. So we want to ensure that inhale, hold. Even before you close, the hold will happen. We don't need to actually use a finger to close, close the breath, but we are just using because we want to ensure that one nostril is blocked while we are exhaling.
Ma'am, generally, morning time, I attend practice a yoga session, and I follow the instructor. So while practicing inhale and exhale, she'll be telling like inhale, exhale. I'll take much longer time for exhalation. When she say inhale, but still I'll be exhaling. If I go according to my MAM count, so I feel like the pressure is built up without complete. Like I feel the urge of feeling like exhaling will be still there. So how to correct it, or is there anything wrong in it?
No, it is not your fault, because as I said, no, it is not possible that even if I'm guiding you, there is a possibility, or you are guiding me, there is a possibility that I tend to hold the breath because you're counting very slow, right? So for the moment, my lungs are not prepared enough to breathe that long, whether it's inhale or exhale. So you don't have to worry. You follow your natural rhythm. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold, as long as you feel comfortable. And that's why I'm giving different ratios, because this problem will happen with many people, especially who are chest breathers. They will not even be comfortable with 4:8 ratio for inhale, 8 exhale. So you first want to teach them 3:3, 3:6, then 4:4, then 4:8. Slowly you want to build the lungs capacity. You can't build pressure, right? If you build pressure after the practice, you will be stressed, agitated, instead of feeling calm and relaxed, because you are holding a lot of stress to do the practice or to match that count, right? So you should feel comfortable while you're doing. At the same time, we want to challenge, like I told you in asana, how you're challenging yourself every day in the pose by holding one count longer or by stretching little more. But like if you're trying a split for the first time, you're not expecting the split will happen in one go. Your teacher might do this full split, right? But we are not having the same flexibility to reach the full split in day one. So what we do, we accept, and then slowly we build more mobility. Same goes with the lungs. So we cannot match somebody else's rhythm. We have to follow our own rhythm. What rhythm we can do at the moment, depending on lungs capacity and how much pressure it can hold at the moment. Right? Yes. Any other questions? Okay. So tomorrow we'll talk about Shitali Shitkari Pranayam. And now summertime is also a good time to practice Shitali and Shitkari. So we will understand the physiology of Shitali and Shitkari, and tomorrow we'll be practicing them also. right? So all of you can sit in any comfortable posture, relax your shoulders. Complete awareness on your breathing. Join your palms together in front of your chest in Namaste Mudra. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take care. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.